everybody, welcome back to the channel. My name is Steve Stauffer. I am a certified pumpkin plan coach and a business strategist, former business owner of an HVAC contracting business, and now I am here to help you with some tips and tricks on how to grow your powerhouse of a business, whatever that looks like for you. One of the big things I hope to do is to help you grow your business, lead in your business, lead in your community, and grow your profits so that your bank account is bigger than ever before, all while having the life you want to lead. So let's get into it. Thanks for coming. This morning I was reading a blog, and the title just kind of hit me, and it hit me in a way that, honestly, it's hit me before because I had it happen in my business. But people have been asking me about it recently as I'm coaching and talking to people. And the big thing is niche phobia holding you back? Here's 3 powerful reasons to get over it. And this is based on the blog by Donna Lyons. She is one of the pumpkin plan strategists. And she wrote this it's about 11 years ago. But I think it's still relevant today. And for me, it's more relevant today than ever before, especially in the trades. Because a lot of times we have these companies that are buying other companies, especially right now. Anytime interest rates go up, the venture capitalists come into the trades, they buy up the companies, they make these big companies. And then as the interest rates start coming back down, mysteriously, they tend to sell off those companies to other people. Happened 20 years ago, 10 years or 12 years ago or so, and it's happening again now. So I think now more than ever, niching down is a big thing and something you really should do. So the first reason she gives is you speak their language. Right? So the more you can understand, the more you know the client, the easier it is to speak to them in a language that motivates them to buy your product or service. If you have a narrow market, you can paint a very specific picture for yourself of who they are. You can interview them. You can study them. You can understand them. You can understand what makes them tick and what makes them buy. And then you can build and talk about your business in a way that makes your top client, your ideal client, feel like your product or service was made just for them. If you understand what motivates this group to buy and how they make buying decisions, then you can speak to that motivation and that decision-making process. You know, I've heard a lot of companies, and like I started to say earlier, it's a big thing. So a lot of HVAC companies decide to go into plumbing or plumbing into HVAC. And 40 years ago, 50 years ago, when there are a lot of oil boilers out there, or even boilers in general, plumbers typically would do heating, quote unquote, because it was a boiler and it was water, and you're moving water from one place to another. But when forced air started coming around, some of those guys, the plumbers, would say, I'm not going to deal with it, I'm going to stick to plumbing, and they would farm it out. Then they realized how much they're farming out and would wind up doing it themselves and call themselves plumbing, heating, and air conditioning. And then as the company grew, they thought, okay, now it's time to add electrical, or now it's time to add remodeling. There's a company around here that they started out as a plumbing company, and now they do kitchens and baths. They're fairly successful, but not 100% successful at it. They do pretty well. But for me, if I hear a company come in and say, I do A, B, C, D, E, F, and G, I'm your one-stop for everything, I tend to think they're kind of like a jack of all trades and a master of none. So if you can speak the language of one person, of your ideal client, of your niche client, you're going to be able to speak to them. You're going to be able to make your marketing go right to them. So when you're done with your marketing, they're going to sit down and say, wow, they're talking directly to me. I get it. I'm going to call them. I don't know how they understand me, but I'm going to do it. Second reason is you become the expert. If you're not learning a lot about or a little about a lot of things, but you can focus your learning as much as you can about addressing the needs and wants of that particular niche and how to best serve them, you're not reinventing the wheel each time. You become the expert in the area, and the experts attract more customers and command more money. When someone in your niche needs your service or product, you will be that go-to person because you are the expert. Think about that. Your employees now know how to serve that client on time every time. Your clients know what it is to make that customer happy. Your clients know that I need to do X, Y, and Z every time. For a lot of the trades, it's throw on the shoe cover, knock on the door, step back, stand at an angle. You can wait to be greeted. They're going to invite you in. You thank them. You put your shoe covers on, and you start talking about the customer and the issue. When did it hurt? There's a whole list of questions. I've got that down. That I've done. But it's a lot easier to do that when it's a niche customer, right? When you're always doing the same thing all the time. And the third reason is you eliminate the competition. In the book, The Pumpkin Plan, a simple strategy to grow a remarkable business in any field, entrepreneur and author Mike Michalowicz tells how narrowing the niche for his computer installation and repair business eliminated his competition. He noticed that most profitable clients were hedge funds. So he changed his label from computer repair company to hedge fund technology specialist. He narrowed his niche to focus on hedge fund companies only. And suddenly, where his company previously had hundreds of, quote, computer guys competing with them in the area, they were now competing with only 2 other hedge fund technology specialists in the entire country. Mike did his homework and learned how to serve the client better than anyone else. Their target market, hedge funds, stopped thinking of them as a typical computer guy and started thinking of them as technology specialists for the hedge fund industry. There was no comparison. Mike's business implemented a strategy to attract other hedge funds, and their business completely took off. The lesson is, when you serve a narrow niche, your products and services can be tailored to their specific needs, which gives you a huge competitive advantage over your generalist competition. If your customers see you the same as the competition, you'll end up competing on price. How many times has the customer said, you know what, I really like you guys, I really like what you stand for, I like your product, but I need a cheaper price? Or can you discount it? I'm a long-term customer, can't you discount it? Those days are virtually over. When you niche down and learn how to speak their language, you become the expert, and that's how you eliminate the competition. Right? So it's time to take action today. Today it's time to sit down and think about what niche, what is your product line, what do you guys do well, what is profitable for your company, and how can you take that and niche it down to the 1 or 2 most profitable items in your company, the things you do well that you can then serve your client and you become the expert and you learn to speak their language. If you're having trouble, we'd love to help you out. If you're not sure how to do that, we do one-to-one coaching. We have group coaching. Our business community group coaching is starting up. We start it up every 6 months, and once we close the door, it's closed. There's one coming up soon. If you're having trouble at all, we'd love to help you. Just reach out. You can reach out at guidetocashflow.com and set an appointment with us, and we'd love to sit down with you over Zoom or in person if you're close to us and discuss how we can help you or what it is you need to move forward. We're more than happy to help you out. I mean, that's why we're here. Like I said at the beginning, I owned my own HVAC business for 18 years. I know what it takes, and I'm here to help others grow the Powerhouse business so they can have more life and more profits.